Welcome to another episode of The Rhythm. This is the first time I'm doing this kind of rendition of it. Hopefully, it's like some 5 minutes with five, something stupid like that. But it's cool. Appreciate y'all pulling up. I want to talk about one individual that I've been, let's say, right about since the beginning. I think he's probably Willie Green's best addition to this team. Herb Jones, he will officially win his first team all defensive team award. Well deserved. Shout out to Herb. I want to talk a little bit more about it. Maybe you guys can agree, but listen to my legend.
Yeah, first of all, you know what I'm saying? We want to thank God, just, you know what I'm saying, dead serious, because if it weren't for him, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't be here. But it's like this, though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Again, I appreciate y'all pulling up. South got something to say, so I gotta say it. Herb Jones, right? Elite defender. Probably should have gotten this award 2 years ago, maybe if the Pelicans were winning. I thought so. Maybe even more so last year. I thought people just started to realize his, I would say, greatness on the defensive end. He's gotten better offensively as well. His ability to shoot the ball. I think he shot the ball 40% from three, which is higher than most of us even fathom at the time. I think it was like 41, 42, if I'm not mistaken. So a really good basketball player, glowing remarks from the likes of Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, and a host Paul George and a host of other people. One specifically I thought was interesting. Even I assume the greatest coach in basketball history, Greg Popovich. Listen to what he had to say.
You think I'm just being funny, and told our guys, if he's there, give it to somebody else.
Let me run that
Avoid
back.
him like the plague. You don't want him guarding you. You think I'm just being funny, and told our guys, if he's there, give it to somebody else. That's the deal.
See, that's the thing, right? Like, Pop isn't like a liar. Maybe he's a little facetious at times, but he's gonna tell the truth. Um, and in that game, Wemby was guarded by Herb. I think he had 2 points at halftime. Now I think he ended the game well, and Devontae Graham went crazy in the second half. They ended up winning the game, the Spurs, but they had to maneuver Wemby away from Herb, and then they did so with the screens and other things, and he was able to get loose. But that first half, Herb had him, locked up, and the Pelicans were in control at that time. Um, for Pop, right? To say that about a guy in Herb, I think he understands his abilities and what he can do on the defensive end and how it can impact the game. Um, in my opinion, he reminds me of a Bruce Bowen, like a superstar, Shane Battier, and probably what Pop would probably say, right? A guy that can impact the game with his brain and his athletic ability and his ability to shoot the ball in the corners. Seems like a perfect fit for any basketball team. I thought Herb Jones could probably play for any basketball team in the NBA. One play. In fact, before I get to the plays, there was a couple quotes that I thought about writing this, but it wouldn't have, been probably received. And half the time, you guys don't even fucking read. But I thought this was interesting. I got a quote from Aaron Miles, the assistant coach. He's coached Draymond Green uh, in when he won the Defensive Player of the Year a couple times in Golden State. He's coached Marcus Smart when he won Defensive Player of the Year in Boston. So he's been around a couple guys that have won this award. And this was the quote that I received. And let me make sure I get this right. I've been around some elite defenders. Draymond in Golden State, Marcus Smart in Boston. Herb is in the same conversation. The bar is set too low. He should be the Defensive Player of the Year. He continued to say his instincts, the ground he covers, you can put him on ball, off ball. Herb is a basketball purist. Like, we're talking about a guy that's regarded in a lot of NBA circles, and he's telling you that the second round guy is a basketball purist, and you can put him in the same conversation as Draymond Green and Marcus Smart. pretty alarming, right? Um, and you can kind of piggyback that with what the stuff that KD said, and even what Paul George said. Speaking of Paul George compared him to himself, saying Herb Jones was his dark horse for Defensive Player of the Year before the season even started. I don't think Paul George, thought he was going to do this.
He'll give him a second chance, though, and a wide open look.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, Herbert Keyshawn Jones. This is flat out incredible. Incredible. You got a top 10 defense without a rim protector.
Like AD just said, a top 10 defense without a rim protector. Imagine if he had one. Imagine if he had a rim protector so he can be more effective. I even go back to when Dyson was in the starting lineup. Herb's defensive numbers were even better because he had another guy playing defense. I mean, the usual starting lineup is what? CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, and Herb Jones. None of those other guys are known for their defense. So imagine if you just pair them up with guys that are, capable and want to play defense. Not saying those guys didn't, but that's just not their forte. Like their forte is on the offensive end, and we'll talk about that offensive end another day, another time. But Herb Jones is the linchpin, right? If he isn't playing well on the defensive end, the Pels don't necessarily have a shot. That's him. That's why I believe that he should have been in more defensive player of the year conversations. I think the bar is set too low. The tougher guards in the NBA are elite wings, right? The Kevin Durant's, the Paul Georges, the Devin Bookers, the Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders, the Jason Tatums, the Jaylen Browns. Rudy Gobert isn't guarding them. The Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert isn't guarding the likes of those. He's playing help side. Hell, he had to play help side against Joker because one-on-one, Joker was killing his ass. Then there's nothing he could have done about it. But there's only a small section of elite centers in the NBA. Most of the elite skill guys, Luka Doncic. Most of these guys are on the wings and dribbling the basketball for, 15, 20 seconds, and you have to be aware of them at all times. That's why Herb Jones is so beneficial for this team and so important. He is. And I don't think you can really find another wing defender that has as much responsibility as Herb Jones has. If the Pelicans would have won 50 times this season instead of 49, had 50 wins, maybe 52, I think you see more votes for Herb, right? For Defensive Player of the Year rather than not so much. I'll leave y'all with this last play. I thought was probably the best play you can ever see. The producers kind of messed it up a little bit by not getting the steal, but I think this play encapsulates who Herb Jones is as a basketball player.
Stops though.
You got to get back. That's a great block by Herb.
Herb's all over it.
Here's the lob.
Yep.
Oh, nice, P.I.
Yep. 6.5 to play.
It's another great play by Herb.
Takeaway.
Attack.
It's got Herb on the run. How about that?
Beautiful basketball. Look at Willie Green. Look at Willie Green. And right now he's pumped up because of the two back-to-back plays made by Herb.
Back-to-back plays, one sequence. Herb Jones gets a block at one end, leads to a fast break. Should have been an alley-oop, but leads to a score on the fast break. Has the presence of mind to stay in the game, stay in, mentally in the game. Gets a free safety, Ed Reed type pick, throws it back into play, comes back, gets the ball in transition, dime to Zion Williamson for a dunk, timeout. Utah Jazz, the same Utah Jazz team that had been beating the shit out of the Pelicans for the last couple years. It's been 10 minutes. It's the rhythm. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all listening. Peace.